My royalty, you asked for it. Such defiance. That goes well. Shadow Raven. Hands where I can see it. Odds revealed. I think not. I live within you. Wings of darkness. Max, wow! Yucky, yucky, oh! You asked for it. Drop your weapons. Such defiance. Blazing to light. Midnight Phantasmagoria! Justice will prevail! Begone! I live within you. Max! Wow! Jumpy, jumpy, go! Hands where I can see them! My royalness? I think not. Our little secret.
As you wish, me.
Test and know my will.
Incinerate!
Each deed will be judged.
It all adds up.
Motion to compel!
Can't hide the truth.
Recall. Each deed will be judged. Laws of creation born. My motion stars inscribed.
Time for your
It all adds up. The deception ends here.
incinerate! Three moons converge. Branches assault, by the frost in her vault.
Judgment.
It all falls into place. Can't hide the truth. Let's see what they're made of.
Midnight for all. Lush as the moon, for the everlasting fall.
Each deed will be judged.
No more lies. It all falls into place.
Judgment. Each deed will be judged.
Branches assault, by the frost in her
Motion
vault.
stars inscribed.
It all adds up. The deception ends here.
Incinerate! Blame, a moonlit night for all. For the everlasting terror.
Test.
Let's light it up! Full throttle! Ha! Stay clear! Teamwork is trick! Keep lolling! Eat Papa! Pyroclastic surge! Incinerate! 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 Everybody stand! Show no mercy! Suffer the wrath of Eve! Light of the blazing sun! Incinerate! Incinerate! Teamwork is trick absorption test! Get to work! Wrath of the sky!
So there we go. That was my clear. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. To be fair, I do have C2 Mavuika and a C2 Klee, but I'm still very happy with these clears. The Klee team was just about getting your energy, getting your bursts up, and then you just start blasting. One tip I can give is use Sacrificial Bow on Fischl. That will help you have good uptime. And just like with most other teams against this boss, you want to destroy the minions. So you get your stuff set up, and then you defeat the minions, and then you just try to move on to both of it. May take a few resets to get good timing between that, but this boss is not too hard. These are my builds. My Klee has a pretty good build on the Rising Wind set. I'm using her with Lost Prayer. Here's the substats. Some very good pieces, some okay pieces. It's a nice build. And then I've got C2. It probably is doable with C1 if you have good RNG. I basically did this run first try, maybe second try. Here's the official build that I was talking about. Get a nice amount of energy recharge with Sacrificial Bow. Lets you have good uptime on her. Here's my build. I have some very nice pieces, to be honest. I have C6. Also, the good thing about Fischl against Tulpa, because you're getting Overload and Electro Charge, she's basically giving your Klee the attack buff and the EM buff, which is very nice. And then my Sheriff is just a very normal Sheriff. I was actually considering trying Durin, so I think Durin would be quite good here, but that's my Sheriff build. Maybe if you don't have C6 Sheriff, look into a different team. And then that's what I have. And then I have a Nicole. You could probably definitely do it without her signature weapon. I managed to farm some decent pieces, so my attack is very nice. Got a bit of energy recharge, flat attack. Nicole's build actually reminds me of Nilou, with you getting the triple main stats and then you trying to get a bit of ER, a bit of flat stats. The only difference is Nilou, you wanted a bit of EM as well, but Nicole was very quick for me to build on the Celestial gift set. And then C0, I've been working on her talents, but it's still not maxed, so there's still even a bit of damage left to get. Now the Nefer run was very interesting. I usually start off with just trying to generate energy for my team, and then I do the Hydro step for him, get the Hydro online, and then I use Nefer. But the interesting thing is, why do you use Yunfei? You use Yunfei, or just any Pyro in general, just because the second time he activates the recording thing, and you hear it from his voice, I guess. But you want the second one to be Pyro, because then also you can just break the shields really fast and real quick with burning. So when you set up, you get a lot of burning and you get vapes. I'm obviously not going to do it now because I'm just trying to explain the mechanics. But I also like Yunfei or maybe Xinyan because you get the shields on both of them. So I've seen people do it with Bennett, but I think Yunfei and like Xinyan would be very nice here. And with Nefer, you'll have plenty of time. If you run out of time, I guess you'll die like that. My builds didn't change much. I'm using my Nefer build, pretty good build with her signature weapon. These are the pieces I was using. And then C0, just a finished build. Lauma, because I'm not using Nahida, I had to give her Deepwood Memories with a lot of ER. I'm using the event weapon, and yeah, Deepwood Memories. It's actually not the best build. Like this piece here, I wish I had ER, it'd make things a lot easier to build. And then those are her stats. Columbina, I actually wish I had slightly more ER. It worked out in the end, but that would have been a bit more comfortable. I used Prototype Amber. And then the SMS set. HP, crit rate. That's what worked for me. That's her build. And then Yunfei. You want to try and get ER and crit rate and HP as well, to be honest. Because the shield scales of HP. I use Vonius Codex for energy and then the Instructor set. So whichever Pyro you want, you kind of want to use the Instructor set. It will make her shield weak because her shield does scale off of her HP, but you need the damage. You don't need the talents. So I'll be interested if you guys want to try Yunfei, Xinyan, Bennett, whoever. And then the last one was the Mavuika against the Wolf. I obviously don't have Varka, and the strategy of this was very simple. It was just, you know, attacking with your Pyros, battery them, and then you swirl with your animals. Sukkos luckily breaks this swirl shield very quickly. So you can even set up and then go back to Sucrose to refresh like your VV. Then you set up your vapes. I've seen people use Vape and Melt. So I'm using Sea Lily here, but I've seen people use Mona as well. Honestly, I've even seen people use Mono Pyro, because maybe it's a bit tedious setting up reactions like this. But it's just a standard Mavuika team, aside from you needing to use Sucrose because the boss you need to do Pyro or Electro Swirls. I ended up using Bennett just because I found Eon Song really awkward with Sucrose. Whereas Bennett, you're basically guaranteed to get that Pyro Swirl. But it did mean I couldn't use Bennett with Nefer, so I guess play around with it. This is the build I went with. I guess it's not the most amount of EM, but it's basically just how my artifacts lined up. Haven't really got EM there, but I've got some EM on the Goblet and the Circlet. It's a pretty good build. And then I got the C2. Although to be fair, I have seen people do it at C0. You might need the most optimal build with the most optimal RNG, but I have seen it. I'm using a Sea Lily. I prioritize her ER, and I'm using TTDS with the scroll set, prioritizing ER, and I guess a bit of EM as well for the shield. And then that's our build. This doesn't really matter. Bennett, I'm just trying to maximize his base attack and his energy recharge. So I'm using Mist Splitter with the Noblesse set. Just want to get his burst up. It's a normal build. And then Sucrose is just a normal EM build. I use Wanting Even Star. I guess Wanting Even Star doesn't do that much, but I guess it's a bit of extra attack. And then VV, just trying to get as much EM as possible. I think I actually did use her burst just to help speed up one of the phases, but I just maximized the EM.